And we're live. I'm going to say welcome back to myself and Kent, who's not here. We've been away for a period of 7 months, and a little later on in the show, I'll explain why we took a break. But we wanted to return to the airwaves after the last Sport Card Expo with some of our favorite guests that we've had on in the past. Today, it's literally going to be we're just going to freestyle live, get back on the books of talking about the hobby, and just see where all three of us or four of us have gone from here. For those of you who are interested, Kent, again, I mentioned he has no internet connection, so he's on a rotary dial-up somewhere, texting me on my phone and asking me questions. So I will make sure I ask the guests these questions as well. So first, without being rude, I want to introduce. We have Eric, who's Sanderson.or on Instagram. He's from Boston, and I do like the guy, but I hate that he's from Boston. But that's a different story.
Fair enough.
We have Sam, and Sam. Sorry, we have Sam. Sam needs no introduction, but she's here as well to do the show with us. And of course, Annemarie, who's on Women on Tops on Instagram, also doesn't need any introduction, and she's been on our show before. So thank you, all of you, for coming to kind of welcome us back to going live. So Sam and Annemarie and Eric, I'm going to go kind of round robin. You guys can tell us a little bit about what's been going on the last few months or years. No, that's been a year, 7 months. So that's 7 months with you guys. So I'll start off with Sam. Sam, tell us a little about what's going on the last little while.
Yeah, last while. I'd say I've still been in the hobby, but probably myself, it seems like you guys have gone on a hiatus. I've probably been less involved as well, but still went to the National this summer, which was really fun. So it's kind of the last big card show that I went to, but yeah, that's really all that's been going on. I'm looking forward to maybe going to the Culture Collision in January in Atlanta. So yeah, so just kind of being involved, I would more say my involvement has been stocking cards on eBay, not necessarily active as much on social, but it's still been a good ride.
Awesome. Annemarie, I'm looking forward to what you have to say. So what's been going on with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun couple of months. Definitely the National was a highlight. Working with a group, Women in the Hobby, to have a presence at the event. Parkside, I worked with Parkside to bring in NWSL signers. We did an exclusive card that we gave out. Topps was a big partner. So this was only my second National, but it felt different. Like people would just come out and hang out at the booth, and we had it was a lot of fun. And then since then, it's been a really fun time in the hobby. I mean, everyone, it's I feel like sometimes the hobby feels like an episode of like Melrose Place. Like we all love, there's like drama one week, and then like somebody's happy again and something good happened, but then there's drama the next. I mean, it's very 90210, and I'm not sure if like some people are Dylan's and some people are Kelly's, but it's fun to watch that all play out. So it's the best of times. It's been the worst of times, but the cardboard's still fun. So I can't wait to hear about everyone else's adventures, I guess.
Awesome. I love how you did Beverly Hills 90210. So we just all of a sudden dated ourselves into how old we are, except for Sam. Sam, I don't know, did you watch 90210?
Well, there's reruns.
Yeah, honestly, I've not really gotten into it. I've definitely heard of it. So
okay, all right, yeah. We'll skip over the age reference here. Eric, tell us a bit about what's going on with you, buddy.
Well, we just came back from the expo, which is for me is the greatest show on earth. Not only are some of my best hobby friends at the show, but because I collect vintage hockey, it's like heaven. It's every table is great to look at. I feel like I'm in a museum. You see cards that are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and they're in mint condition, like they were just made, earlier that day. And it doesn't hurt that the American dollar does pretty well up north. So, when they want, $100 for a card, I'm doing math going, yeah, that's like $5. Okay. So, yeah, I was joking with you and said I actually am starting to come down off my high from last week, and I'm actually depressed because it was just so enjoyable, seeing you and Kent and Jeremy and other friend of the show, Bobby Burrell, and some of there's so many people I've met in the last couple of years that are from that live in Canada or are into hockey collecting that make the trip to Toronto, and time of my life every time I go.
Yeah, we miss you too, Eric. Just so you know, so we see you once a year, and that's just like the perfect relative visit,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Um,
everyone's happy to see me for 4 days. Then it's like, okay, bye. See you next year.
yeah, especially with the accent, which I can't replicate, but we won't go there. So we all talked about kind of like shows and stuff, and I'll kind of reference where I've been the last 7 months. So I mentioned earlier we took a hiatus, and I'll kind of explain why I took a hiatus, just because people have been asking me through Instagram and then Facebook. So I'll just get it out, so it's done. The reason we took a hiatus was, and I'm only going to speak for me. I won't speak for Kent. I'll let Kent do it when he's on next. But I was, rightly or wrongly, I was kind of being compared to other influencers, YouTube personalities, Instagram artists. And I felt like that wasn't what I was trying to do or what we were trying to do. We were trying to make the hobby fun, and it's not about comparing ourselves to others. So that was one thing. The other thing was I felt the pressure of trying to be unique in a very cosmopolitan hobby, right? Trying to carve out my niche. And then I realized I don't need to. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. So I felt good taking a break because I needed to get back to what I needed to do as a collector. So I did that. The other thing was the pandemic was coming out of the pandemic. So we were getting out of the pandemic, and both my kids play hockey. One's in select or rep hockey, some of you guys call it. I'm a coach. I'm on the ice, and I'm competing with my family for time. So I decided, they need me first. So those are some of the reasons why we took a break, for at least from my perspective. And the other one, which I'll say, it was kind of paralysis by overanalysis. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like I don't need to overanalyze where my place is in the hobby. So I just need to enjoy my place in the hobby, period. So that's why I took a break. But when Kent comes back, he'll explain his. But I'm looking forward to getting the show back on the road. Now, even though I did say I did take a break, I didn't take a break from cards, and I'll show you some of the things that I picked up over the last little while. So I'm still very heavily invested in cards. Now, talking about shows and talking about cards, I want to kind of get right into the meat of it and just get into what are some of your favorite pickups. We'll start off with Sam. What have you been buying for yourself or looking at lately that's been a favorite pickup of yours?
Yeah, so mainly I won't say I've like pulled the trigger on anything, but obviously the prices have kind of come down on some certain things. And I always say I'm more of a budget collector anyways, and that helps being a Panthers fan. So I will say I probably more so just had my eye on like Luke Kuechly autographs. It's my main PC that I go after. So that's really just been the main thing that I've continued to look at and see, I'm able to afford, whereas previously maybe I could get one auto per, a certain time frame. Now I can see like, the prices are coming down in terms of the autos. So that's really something that I'm looking forward to buying more of.
And correct me if I'm wrong, and don't kill me if I say this, but
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly is it Ohio State? No, sorry, what was it?
Where he went to school?
Yeah.
He went to Boston College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another reference to
I hope
Boston.
that hurts. I hope that burns.
Hey, I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, he's from Ohio. Like he went to St. Xavier, I think, in like Columbus area.
I feel somewhat vindicated. I was partially right. So,
but yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad that you're still doing the Luke Kuechly.
Oh yeah.
Collection. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to transfer over to Annemarie. I know Annemarie, we all know what you're collecting on Instagram, but please tell us, what have you been doing the last 7 months? What are your favorite pickups? Where have you been dabbling?
Oh, you're on mute.
Mute. Sorry, it's hard to mute me sometimes. Yeah, it's interesting to think about favorite pickups because I've had like favorites and categories.
Yeah.
I know. So I've always, I always have such a complicated relationship with grading, right? Which is weird because I love judging, right? So you think like someone that loves judging would love grading, but I've always said like, when cards are, When cards are low and grading was still kind of high, I bought a lot of cards. Now cards are lower and grading's coming down. Two really like a couple of things were cool that weren't huge pickups is I had I bought a Babe Diedrichson, a pamphlet that had a Babe Diedrichson auto on it, and I was always kind of skeptical. I had a sense it was real, but I wasn't sure, and I was excited when I got JSA to authenticate it. I also authenticated two really rare Flojo autos on a card. I have never yet seen, I've seen two Florence Griffith Joyner autos on a card in the last 25 years, and I bought both of them. So that's not necessarily really easy to get. Vintage is like things just came out of the woodwork. I picked up some older Wilma Rudolph cards that I didn't have, two from Europe. Picked up some nice Althea Gibson cards that I had been looking for. 2000, and it's just you fall into things, 2011 women's soccer, I think going to pre-World Cup, I've been kind of more focused on some of the earlier stickers. And because I hate myself, I always do the parallel rainbow chase. And in the new WNBA product, I've decided to make that Katie Smith. And it's it's rainbow chasing is dumb actually, and makes us feel bad about ourselves and isn't really very productive. So it's going well so far. So yeah, just in it's been a great time to be a buyer, and honestly in the women's space, it's been a great time to be a seller too.
Yeah, actually, I find that Kent has quite heavily invested in the women's cards, and actually at the expo, that was what was flying out of his showcases was women's cards. Soccer women's cards were top of, and people were asking, "Hey, do you have so and so? Hey, do you have so and so?" And there was a moment where these two ladies came to the booth, and they looked deflated when they got to the booth. They're like, "Do you have any blah, blah, blah?" I don't remember the player. And Kent's like, "Yeah, I have them right here." And their faces, they talked to him for like 20 minutes about it. And what was cool about it was, forget they're selling cards. They were just talking about the hobby. So I was like, that was a cool moment. So they enjoyed their piece of history.
Well, at the National, we had a bunch of space open. So I just brought a ton of cards because I helped organize a trade night, which was great for women's sport cards and women collectors. And I just put like cards out, right? And because I was like, no one can say there weren't a table full of women's sport cards at the National. And it was all like cool stuff, it was stuff, even though I wasn't really there to sell. And I'm like, I'm a business school professor, so I should be good at this. And I teach sales. I just got played, man. I got played by kids all weekend. Like freaking 13-year-old girls who were like, "I love Sophia Smith." And I'm like, take them, just take them. So I pretty much got ripped off at the National by about a gang. I would say maybe an organized gang of like kids under the age of 20 basically mugged me. And I had a great time doing it. So, and I literally did not come there anticipating to sell. And people left and right they were like, "Oh, I heard someone that you had cards." And yeah, so that doesn't surprise me.
Would you ever do it again?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I did is I often make like card packs where I just mix up like WNBA and UFC and NWSL packs and do this, like I call them GOAT packs, where it's just like, some of the best cards. And I was giving them away like all weekend, and people like really like them. So I really like doing that. But I'm like, I'm not good at selling. Like I'm just as at the National, you could tell I was just not good at selling. I just like kind of sharing the interest in giving things away. But I like a lot of the folks like have stayed in touch with me over Instagram. So now they rip me off through mail. So they're like using the postal service now to like bully me, where they're like, "Oh, I only wish I had a Dan Taurasi auto, maybe one day." And I'm like sitting in my hair. I have like 4 here, and I'm like, fine, just fine.
That's a federal offense if they're using the mail to steal from you.
I mean, I'm not going to say I was bullied, but that's literally what people witnessed pretty much. So,
you know what my prediction is though, Annemarie, is because you gave so much away, you're going to get 3 times as much back.
Well, it's all about the karma. I did a break and invited Panini's digital director to come break with us, and she'd never broken. Sam was there, right?
Yeah.
And it was like my moment for all collectors. And I was like, look at this incredibly well-centered card with the wrong player's photo on it. Like,
Oh, I remember you put it on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I was literally just like trying to be, but it was just like, and Santa, I was literally just like, Oprah was like, can you get a card? And it was just like so fun. I think like it would be cool to do like breaks with people who make cards but have never broke before, because they're just like fascinated by the whole. She was just like, it was so fun, right? So
it's like overwhelming too. It probably would be overwhelming because you're like, yeah, I made this product. I have no idea what's under these packs, but sure, let's go for it.
Right. You're like, oh, there's only 1 out of 2 autos, and they're just like on average. So you're just kind of like, okay, so.
Or they're like, how come I didn't get an autograph in this box? I'll have to talk to customer service.
And I appreciate your reflections on like what it means, like the concepts of influencers. Oh, did he just Did we lose him?
Maybe. We can do this without him. Don't worry. Go ahead. I'm very interested.
No, I just want to.
Oh.
Wow, we're dancing right now. That's pretty awesome.
I have no idea what just happened here.
Wow.
My entire screen went blank.
I think that maybe the internet got tired of hearing my voice. That sometimes
no, it means ask for more. Please keep going.
No, I was just going to publicly state, I think that's a really interesting reflection. But if Whatnot wants to give me $50,000, I will struggle through it.
A month, right? No.
I just want that to go out into the universe. I will take that on. Just 50,000 and 20s at my house. We'll make it work.
Yeah, you're definitely brave.
Someone's got to do it. Frankly,
yeah.
Someone's have to do it. So.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what happened to I don't know what happened there. It just literally, you started talking and the whole screen went blank. I'm like, hello? Like, where are you? By the way, Annemarie, because you came on here and you as well, Sam, I have the only women's card I own. I brought it here to show you.
Hockey has the best patches. Like hockey cards have the best patches.
So I brought that to show you because that's the only card I owned that I could find, but I wanted to make sure I showed it to you.
I have many women's cards. I just didn't know I was supposed to take them all out for this episode. But if we get a chance to do this again, I'll have a much bigger stack.
I'm 1 now away from the Cami Granado rookie rainbow for her Young Guns. At this time last year, was missing the out of 5 card, I think. No, out of 10 card, and I've gotten 2 of them in the last 7 months. So
wait a minute, she had a rainbow?
Well, there's no rate. I mean, she basically has a 5 of 5, a 10 out of 10, out of 25, out of 125. It's her Young Guns Granado card.
I do remember that one. Yes.
But last time I think I was here, I was talking about how I needed the 10 and I needed the 5, and like 2 out of 10s popped up. So
I have hers from back in the 90s from Classic.
Yep.
The first time she was on cardboard, back then. So I have one of those kicking around here somewhere.
Yeah, there's women's hockey cards are great, and the patches are just awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, hockey's the best sport.
I have tons of Manon Rioux, Gamey Granado. I have Erin Witten.
Well, an Upper Deck is promising us a PHF set. So I haven't seen any info on it, but that was part of the agreement last year. The Upper Deck was going to make an entire PHF set. So.
I'll have to talk to her.
We shall see.
I will talk to our friend at Upper Deck.
Could you please tell Amit who the 2-time reigning women's professional hockey champions are, please?
Boston. Pride. There you go.
What's going on? You got Luke Kuechly was born somewhere or hung out somewhere in Ohio. Then you're from Boston area. Oh, sorry, Boston University or Boston College. You're in Boston. You're throwing Boston references. This is just not cool.
Oh, Annemarie.
I brought this to show you, so I regret it now. I regret
college in Western Mass.
Well, they will never make a movie Pride of the Red Sox, so I think we're probably totally safe.
This is why I like having you on, Annemarie. You make my day. By the way, at the National, did you connect with Sam at all, or did you guys run into each other?
Yeah, I saw Annemarie a lot. She was over there running the booth for sure.
I figured at one point someone's gonna be like, "There's this overweight man, like just kind of like holding the women in the hobby booth hostage." Right, like for a while, and you have to understand though, we were literally in like one of the worst places you can be. We were right next to like the Whatnot pavilion and then a giant stage and another game. So it was basically for like 4 days straight, 17 like a swarm of like awkward, like toxic masculine white men screaming, right? It was I've never heard the word bro so much in my life, but it was like we were at the intersection of like a hobby, the future and the present and the past of the hobby.
Yeah, there was a lot of yelling. Like right in front of the booth, there's essentially like the Whatnot Yeah Breakers pavilions. They were literally live breaking right in front of the booth, like
Well, and
yelling.
there was like injuries. Like they started just like
Yeah.
throwing packs out.
Throwing
People were like
boxes, yeah.
diving, and I'm literally like, because I do event management, and I'm like, this does not make any sense, right? So it was just but the people watching was great. Oh, we had a blast. We had a blast.
I coach cross country, and I coach both the boys and the girls team, and I train them together. And I have to remind the girls all the time of rule number one. And rule number one in training with the boys is remembering and understanding at all times that boys are stupid.
Well, I coach rugby, and I actually coach men's rugby, right? And I've always been like, I want to be a cross country coach. Like, not to like, do you just say like, today we're going to run, but a little faster?
Yeah,
it just sounds like such a good idea. Like, go out there, let's like hit this just a little faster.
Yes, that's all I do. I sit. I usually, I got like a big gulp with a straw, and I usually is sitting on the park bench, and I'm like, you guys just run a little faster today.
Yeah, running is the worst. Running is the worst part of every sport on its own. You realize that.
That's why I like
all the time that we're the toughest, because we are the punishment that every other sport gets.
That's why you have the highest rate of repetitive injury in women's sport. It's girls cross country.
Interesting. Well, that's why I like skating, because we're not running. But I will equate one thing. If you're skating I told the guys this morning. So I coach hockey, and I was on the ice this morning, 7:15 practice. My throat is a little hoarse, but literally trying to get them to go a little faster, because everything works a lot better at speed. Like, you can do a crossover if you just go a little faster. It's like they go and they stop and then try to move their leg over and then fall over. And I'm like, no, you need speed. Like, nothing speed works.
Your friend.
Yeah. Anyways, I will not get into that. Again, Annemarie, you made me smile. My cheeks are hurting from smiling, so thank you for that. We never got to Eric, so let's go to Eric real quick. Talk about things what you've been doing the last few months.
I started due to some family health issues. I had to leave my job a couple of years ago. I was a drug and alcohol counselor for like 20 years. And so I had to kind of refocus some things and priorities, just like we all have to do at times. And things started to get a little better around here. And I had some free time. And I ended up working at my buddy's sports memorabilia and card shop, which happens to be the largest one in New England. And it's been a blast. We do a lot of signings, and like we were hanging out with Brett the Hitman Hart last week. Next week it's Paul Coffey, the Hall of Fame hockey player. We get Ray Bork walking in all the time. We get Jim Rice, the Red Sox Hall of Famer, that pops in and signs things. So I'm constantly meeting all these athletes that I grew up admiring, and they're all fantastic. I haven't had a bad experience yet with anybody that's come into the shop to do a signing or pop in and say hi or ask, hey, listen, I'm going to this event and I was hoping to bring this picture from 1967 of me. Do you have one? Yeah, let me look out back for you. And it's like, here, our compliments, just keep us in mind when we call you next time, So it's been a blast working there, and the opportunities have been great. I've had a lot of fun.
Did you get all the stuff on your walls from that shop?
Over the years, I've been collecting since 1988 because I'm old, and a lot of it came from that shop over the years. Yeah, absolutely.
So are you paying back what you bought back, or no? Doesn't work that way.
No, I'm trying to get my money back that I gave in. that I paid them. I'm going to have to work a few more years to get the thousands upon thousands of dollars back that I gave this man, who I now consider a friend. And of course, he's my friend. I've given him thousands and thousands of dollars.
American dollars. That's more than our Canadian dollars.
It's like real money. It's not even the fake stuff you play with.
Well, actually, just so you know, Eric, when you come up to the expo, we price in American dollars with the Canadian dollar. So you're still paying us market rates. We just let you think you're getting a discount. It's the marketing ploy. I'm like, you're getting a 30% haircut. But no, you're not. You're paying the going rate.
I thought you Canadians were all nice and honest.
We're powerful for a reason. We're sly. We'll smile, but we'll sly. Okay, so I'm going to ask another question here. So now that we've come out of the pandemic, I say we've come out of the pandemic. I think we have. I'm going to start off with Sam. Although I think this is going to be a very simple answer because you collect Luke Kuechly. There might only be one answer. Do you have a pandemic purchase you regret? And do you have a pandemic purchase that you actually enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, for a while, I tried to like buy some stuff that just didn't really know that much about, which is pretty dumb. Like soccer. Like I felt like I was like, maybe if I buy it, I'll pay more attention to soccer. Hasn't really happened, but I'll probably still watch some of the World Cup going on. So maybe I regret buying some soccer people, like when that was really hot, like in the pandemic. Obviously, everything's kind of come down overall. And then you said one that I regret and then one that I like enjoy I would say honestly the one that was still, and neither of these are Luke Kuechly, but I swear I do collect Luke Kuechly for the main but actually getting like my first LeBron rookie card. So I got his Topps Pristine, and that was at the first national. So like even though I don't know what the price, I really haven't looked at the price. I'm not sure what it is now, but I don't really regret buying that just because I know it's a card that I'm going to keep forever. I'm a big LeBron fan overall. I just previously in the pandemic was never really able to afford those types of cards.
Nice. All right, Annemarie, your turn. You're on mute again.
I'm like so bad, and I'm a professor who for 2 years was on Zoom. So like you would expect at this point, I would have like figured it out. Right. I probably should, this is going to sound so ridiculous because again, I probably should have sold more cards during the pandemic. I mean, there was definitely, which is weird. I started collecting, focusing on women's cards in like 1998, 97.
Okay.
Right. So, and I was one of those people that would collect one and then not get another one. Right. But then sometimes I pick up some spares. Right. And I've maybe held on to a few WNBA rookie cards and stuff that probably peaked, and I kind of held on because I'm more of a collector than a seller. Let me see I will say this one regret I have is I didn't spend more of the pandemic working on my card database, which is of course the like never ending, process that we have with like an Excel file where we're always behind and cursing it. And I'm still always in catch up mode. I mean, there's a lot of purchases I made during the pandemic that I think were just great, but
is there anything you bought and be like, what the hell was I thinking?
I mean, it's like I'm trying to think if I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I mean, I bought a like a giant box, like almost estate sale, which took maybe 6,000 cards, which took like a long time to go through. But that was more fun. I don't know. I don't really have a ton of, maybe I bought some things early and I didn't wait for them to come down. I'm constantly breaking the don't buy things in the first week. Like I'm constantly.
You posted that, right? Because Goodwin, you did that with Goodwin, yeah?
Oh yeah, I should never have bought a 2-color auto, but they're like $10 and she's such a badass. I mean, like, so, the thing with women's cards, particularly like short print women cards, and I don't have, no one's done research on this in the collectible field, but using research outside of it is that the women's card market and collectors are a smaller group, but we have a higher fan avidity. So we're going to spend more money. So like a lot of women's short print cards, if you see them once, you may never see it again, because it's not necessarily where people will buy it to flip it. They're buying it and holding on to it forever, right? Like, so some of those rules get kind of thrown out. I did buy, sometimes you'll be in a show. I did find, like, at the National, someone had a stack of 10 Diana Taurasi rookies, which I was like, okay, I'll buy all of them. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so few bets, and for the price I ended up getting them for, and then I'm a bad buyer, so I tell people about it, and they're like, I want them for that much. So then I would sell it to them for how much I paid for it. I'm terrible. I'm bad at this game. I'm just terrible at this game. They were so excited. I mean, everyone needs a Diana Taurasi rookie. It's like a little black dress or like a Yankees hat. It just shows such class and good decision making. So,
all right, Annemarie, listen, I let the other one go earlier. The Yankees, now you got two. One more and you're out.
It's funny. I don't dislike Red Sox fans because they're just the Red Sox. Boston fans can be a little much. It's hard when you've had so much success. So.
Oh yeah, 86 years of nothing, and then we won. Oh yeah.
I'm a Bills season ticket holder, so we're still waiting. So.
Yeah. Did you say Bills? Yeah, I'm a Bills fan too. Did we win today? I think we won today.
We did.
We beat the Browns finally.
We were Billsy for a little while, right? Like when everyone's like, "Are you surprised the Bills are struggling?" No, they're the Bills, right? No, the Bills are Billsy, right? Like they're Billsy. Sometimes they just act like Bills. So
I don't understand. You can be like Thurman Thomas, doesn't fumble all year, fumbles in the Super Bowl twice. Anyways, just not gonna go there. Or Darryl Talley just misses tackles for the first time in his Hall of Fame career in a Super Bowl. Anyways, let's just not go there. No, I don't. No, I'm not upset about the 4 Super Bowls. Let's just go to the next topic before I hurt myself. But I will say, Eric, the Boston Bruins and Boston has all start the letter B, which is synonymous with any other negative term. So I'm kind of liking that. I will leave that there. Okay, so next, actually, Eric, didn't get a chance to ask you. Pandemic purchase regret. Pandemic purchase no regret.
All right, so I can't give you a specific, but I know that there were a handful of times that I was getting, you're homebound, you're stuck at home, you're going a little nuts, and you got your eBay, and you're just hitting, buy it now. And there was a few times where I bought within like 24 hours, like the same thing, and didn't remember. Because I was just in a click it. I need something new. I need something to make me feel good. This sucks. I hate being at home. I hate doing this. Oh, that'll make me feel better. And it's like I get 2 in the mail, and it's like, well, what? Why? And then you go back and you look and you see what you did and how much you paid for these, and then you realize when you put them away that you actually already had one in your collection to begin with. So I did that a couple of times. So I just blame cabin fever on that. So I got caught up a couple of times tripping on myself, just hitting the button, the eBay button, a little too quick, and not paying attention or focusing.
So I guess I have to answer the question myself. I don't have too many regrets. I bought a crap ton of stuff during the pandemic, but all of it was stuff I wanted. I would have to say the top 70 or 2020 was something I went a little too deep on. But even though I still look at the cards, I love the art, so it's not that bad. I don't mind paying what I paid, but I went a little too like, the new release is coming. Wake up! It's like Ticketmaster. You're waiting for the concert tickets to get arrived. You're at the top site, and it's crashing. Remember, the top site would crash when you were buying those top 2020 cards. I bought a lot of them. I'm not kidding you, a lot of them, and they're all in one touches, which is heavy. Anyways, whatever. I like the art, but I shouldn't have bought all those. And just to round things out in my naivete, I forgot to say hi to people who come to watch us. So let me do that for a second. Not like we don't need fans, so I apologize. So I'll do that right now real quick. So Kamikaze, Sport Card Hybrid, Sophia Smith. I can't remember what that was a reference to. Probably an earlier comment. We have Diamond Princess, Voodoo Magic. That's probably when I went haywire with the site here. Yes, remind me that we went haywire. Thank you. I do not know who this is. It looks like someone's one of your friends, Eric.
Yeah, he bounces around to some of the other shows that I'm on or participate in, and he's bringing up a couple of jokes from these other shows and episodes and things, and it's good to see him. I'm glad that he's found you, and I hope he watches you regularly.
I hope so. I accept that. I'm not sure where to take this comment. I'm just going
I
to leave it
can
alone.
just take it right off the screen, and I'll deal with him later.
There we go. All right. And then we have John H.J. Lee says, welcome back. Yes, thank you for reminding me of our snafu. Love what you collect. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah,
You're on Instagram too. She's on Instagram too. I follow her.
Yeah.
I love that Instagram handle. And she gave a shout out to Sam and Annemarie.
Hello.
And then Josh says, good to see you back. Don't forget the like button. Yes, please. Thank you for reminding me how bad a host I am. I'm not even telling people to subscribe or hit like. So thank you for doing that, Josh.
Josh, I had a pleasure of hanging out with Josh up at the expo. Great guy. Really had a lot of fun spending time with him and hanging out. So it's good to see that he's in here also.
He's a good kid. I like Josh a lot. Now, speaking of the expo, this is the question I wanted to ask. Sam and Annemarie, would you ever come up to see us at the Toronto Sport Card Expo one day?
I would say potentially. Yeah, I think I would. I would likely make more of a trip out of it than just the expo, like trying to see like some of Canada as well. But I think too, just like, and I don't know how much of a hassle. I honestly haven't traveled out of the country since like pre-COVID. So like doing all of that and like going through passports and all of that, I don't know, like it just adds an additional step. But I do think it's something that I could see myself doing, but probably not for a while.
Sad face. Okay, well, when you do decide to come, Kent and I will gladly host you. You can hang out at our booth, leave your coat, go walk around. The same for Annemarie. I have to ask Annemarie the same question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in upstate New York, so Toronto is actually literally right around the block in upstate New York. It's only like 4 hours. I can't even get to the city, so I totally would come. Especially, if there's women's. I mean, I have so many women. I'm a huge Brand Jenner collector. I have a massive amount of Brand Jenner, and Sarah Fillier has been one of my latest PCs. I have a ton. I mean, I'm a big Cornell women's hockey fan, so if there's women's hockey up there, I would bring a lot of cards to trade as well, because I have a lot of women's hockey.
So,
yes, actually, that would be. So, Eric, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Annemarie. So I want to tell you this story because you mentioned it. This one of the greatest athletes in history earlier. So I'm going up to this gentleman's table, and I'm looking around, and I see that he has the legendary Gaudy set where Babe Ruth's card is in, and he's got the whole set except the Babe Ruth, right? Mm-hmm. Which is really the easiest one to get if you have money, because everyone saved those. But the first card in this long row of Gaudy cards is Babe Dickerson Zaharias.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, you have a Babe card. And he's like, and of course, he's like, no, that's what I told you I don't have. I said, no. You don't understand. This one right here. This is potentially the greatest female athlete that has ever graced the earth. And no idea who it was. That's fine. I mean, I don't think the average person knows who this is. Okay. I've known about her for, a decade or more. I lose track of time. But I know that, years and years and years ago, not Sports Illustrated, ESPN did a Sports Century documentary on her. And I was like, oh my God, why haven't I heard about this person before? I mean, just an absolutely amazing life this woman had. So I educated him, and he says, well, after that, I'm going to have to change the price on that one. He had no idea who she was. And I explained her greatness and her tennis, her golf, her, I mean, you name it, the Olympics. I mean, this woman did everything,
people you'll go to card shows and people either women's cards, if they're in the case particularly, they're either overpriced by about 40 to 50% or they're underpriced by about 70%, right? And then once you get into the the 5-cent boxes, the things that you'll find in there, the 25-cent boxes, it's incredible what people will just throw in there because they're female athletes. So people either have no clue what they have and you're getting them for pennies on the dollar, or they think this card is worth $800 and it's a $20 card.
Right.
It's like extremes with women's sport cards.
I tell you, if I didn't have my money set for other goals through the expo, I would have, because that was going as a set minus the Babe Ruth.
Mhm.
I would have kept searching because seeing that and being able to admire it, and especially in such good condition. I mean, I was pumped to see her card. So I don't know if do you have a 33 Gaudy Babe Dickerson?
Yep, it's in not great shape. And I bought it bought it 12 years ago. Like I bought it a while ago. And I'm one of those people that like, I don't mind that a card that's like 90 years old kind of looks like a 90-year-old card. So, I tend to look at everyone's obsession with 10s that it's never been a better time to buy a 4. Right, because it's just so much cheaper, right? All cards are, so I've kind of used that to get slightly imperfect cards. And yeah, like it's amazing the kinds of, when people think about, the print runs are a big difference, even in contemporary women's cards. There are more Luka PSA graded rookie cards than have been ever graded of the WNBA combined.
Right.
Like the print runs, are just so small. There's 150 Maya Moore rookie cards. That's it, right? So the scarcity in the women's market is also it's kind of incredible to think about.
Actually, if you look at a
Babe card on my wish list for my at some point in time, hopefully the opportunity will come along where I can get one. And
there's cooler cards than that one of Babe. There's way cooler Baby Didrikson cards than the Gaudy card. She's a bunch in European sets that are like gorgeous, and you can buy them for a deal.
Well, she's going to be in my collection at some point.
Yeah.
She has to.
What's funny, Annemarie, is actually at the rink where I'm coaching my kids. You'll see like Jennifer Botterill is walking around, Haley Wickenheiser, like. It's funny. Yeah. I don't really think about it. I see them every now and then. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's so and so. Yeah, so and so. So it's cool to see them walking around the building, and they are amazing on the ice. I'm like watching a couple of them doing drills. Oh, I'm like, I'm just going to hang up my skates.
Well, and female athletes are so funny. Like I manage the U.S. women's national team for rugby. And I have a bunch of rugby cards. A lot of them are New Zealand based or England based. And we'll just like be friends with the managers and give them a couple to get signed for collection. And the women are just like, these are so cool. We have cards, they're like, this is awesome. Like a lot of times, even, WNBA, you go to games and you're giving athletes their own cards because they just didn't know.
Actually, that's a good segue. I wanted to ask you about that because when we talked, when did we have you on, Annemarie? Was it about around 8 months ago?
I don't. When was 8 months ago? I don't even. I've been signing things 2023 or 2020 lately, so I'm not sure what's going on. So too many rugby concussions.
I want to. It hasn't. You haven't lost your wit, so that's the most crucial part.
That goes last, I think.
So WNBA was, I think, just kind of kicking off and rearing out when we first started talking. I think
the season probably
was it the season? Was it the inaugural? I can't remember. No, it was not. But it started ramping up from a collectability point of view. So, what is your opinion on it now? Where is it going? Is it continue to get stronger? It's going to get more hype. What's your opinion?
2020 was sort of like the big release because of the Sabrina hype, and there was a strong rookie class.
Yeah.
2021 was not as, no one was surprised when the 2021 set didn't really go anywhere because it was a low rookie year. And remember, the WNBA is tough, where you have like a player like, Dangerfield, who was rookie of the year one year, get cut from a team the very next year because there's so few roster spots comparatively. This year's WNBA release was a really strong rookie class. And actually the WNBA was really smart with this year's release. And they made it a 200 card set, and they went big on the W25 team, right? So they did subsets of the W25, the best 25 players. So you have a lot of legends and a lot of contemporary legends and a lot of parallels. The one big problem is we, again, have a set that doesn't have any relic cards, that doesn't have any dual autos. I mean, it's bland. It's boring. I mean, we like parallels. We can debate the black versus gold vinyl. We do have a second set coming out. It's been a long time since we had 2 WNBA sets. Yeah. And I think a lot of us were hoping it would be National Treasures, or maybe it would be an Immaculate, something a higher end, and we're getting Revolution. Now, do I like Revolution? Yes, right? But maybe not the excitement that would have been generated. Revolution comes out, well, it's supposed to come out in 10 days. It'll be out between 10 days and 7 months, depending on delays, inevitably. So this is a great set because there's lots of vet names. Diana Taurasi, I think, has it seems like she has 9 different cards in the set.
Where's their parallels?
The Sue Birds. Oh yeah. I think, yeah. Chasing a Rainbow. It's 38 cards, right? So this was a really good addition, but we're still getting the kinds of things that get people excited about cards. We just, we don't, everyone's we don't get a cleat stud card. We don't even get a jersey card. We don't even get non-game worn jerseys. We don't even get things that have never touched. I'll take in Sue Bird's, something hanging at the JC Penney's near her house at this point. It doesn't have to be game worn. So I think there's, I think we should expect more.
We have the opposite problem in our hockey cards. We have the photo shoot jerseys, so there is that, and then the sticker autos, but we won't go there. I do have a question.
They're not in my collection.
What's that?
They're not in my collection.
You're hard signed, right? You're hard, yeah. I
don't want your stickers. I don't want your photo shoot jerseys. I want hard signed on card autos, and I want game used material.
I'm going to send you a sheet. I'm going to send you a sheet to sign.
I will take a jacket relic of Sue Bird's nephew. We don't have anything. We've got nothing. Beggars can't be choosers.
Annemarie, what about autos? I mean, that's easy to get from them, especially now with stickers. So, I mean,
we have, right? But yeah, we have autos, but we don't have dual autos. Okay. I mean, why would they put together a W25 set? And they've left out some legends. Why not do legends and autos? Why not do dual or triple autos from, you could have a Cynthia Cooper and a Ryan Howard. You could have a Cheryl Swoops and a Lise. You could have the best centers.
Right.
It writes itself.
No, we should do, Annemarie. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I was just saying that I'm all about Rebecca Lobo. I wouldn't mind a Rebecca Lobo auto.
I think we need to have a show. I just thought of this, Annemarie, where you just talk about just WNBA sets and we show it. We'll do a show. We'll do a show on that.
I mean, we just don't have a ton, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's plan for it because I think it'd be interesting. And what I like about it is it's going to be something that everyone posts about or talks about. So I like that angle of it. And because I'm Carlos has come, he likes your voice, Eric. Just so you know,
he does. He can't get enough of me.
I can't seem to get away from you. Anyways, that's a different story. Okay, so I wanted to ask you another question, all of you. Actually, not so much me and Eric, but more for Sam and Annemarie. When we all talked, you were already well underway with kind of your I want to say famousness with your Instagram handles and your presence in the hobby, right? So I want to say, let's start off with Sam. Sam, what do you think about all that now that you've gone through all that? You've gone through the hype machine of Sam stuff. Where's Sam's stuff going in the future?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice. I think the thing that I liked the most about it is being able to go to a show and feel like you know somebody, or at least know their Instagram handle. I think that's the biggest benefit is I think beforehand, maybe I still had my Instagram, but I didn't necessarily know anyone. And so that's pretty lonely to go to a show and not see anyone or feel being able to meet people. So I think that's been the biggest benefit is just not being so lonely at these shows. So that's kind of what I think I've liked most about it, and kind of where it's going. I don't know, just continuing to post the things that I like. I tend to now just kind of post most of the time on Thursdays. I go to Walmart and check retail because I think that's kind of when they stock. So I'll mainly post what my Walmart has each week whenever I go. That's been the biggest thing. Just kind of keeping it slow, but I still like it.
Okay, that's good to know. Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends out there.
Yeah.
And yes, I still check out Walmart too. I won't lie. I actually have in my phone, in my Walmart cart, there is a Black Friday deal on some wax, which I
Oh,
need
okay.
to pull the trigger on. So
That is good to know.
you just
I was
reminded
going
me.
to use my $50,000 from Whatnot to buy 6 blasters.
Yeah, that's
Well,
That's what I
well,
budgeted for.
you
So
could, as long as you don't buy you buy the, what do you call it? I forget what you call it. The affiliate marketers. The affiliate marketers, they have wax on there. They'll probably be about $10,000 a box.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like in store though, it's kind of getting ridiculous. Like it's fully stocked at my store. I just can't pay $35 per blaster. WNBA blasters were 20, so I got some of those.
go to Barnes & Noble. Say
yeah.
you're a teacher, 20% off.
Yeah, so and they've already discounted the World Cup sticker boxes at my store. So those are like, yeah, those are marked on sale. They have probably, I kid you not, they probably have 30 to 40 of like the full set sticker boxes that are just sitting there.
You know how much they probably printed of that stuff this time
Yeah.
around? Like,
Yeah.
like it's got to be, like, you should see, like, basketball, forget the price of wax, the singles. I just gave a box to a bulk seller who gave the box back. He's like, dude, I am not going to do the work to sell this stuff. I'm like, just put it as a 3,200 count lot. He goes, no, there are millions of these 3,200 count lots. I'm not taking it. So I'm like stuck with these mosaic parallels of Bulbul. Anyways, whatever.
I
That is
donate.
my pandemic regret.
I donate a lot of cards. There's people who've started like middle school clubs for collecting. So I spent like 60 pounds of cards out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You can reach out and find people. I know, talking about like Instagram handles. So I'm like walking to class.
Yeah.
And I see an Instagram notification as a message, and I click on it, and it's just like long email from Topps. And I was like, this is the moment that we've been waiting for. It's you took our logo and we're not happy about it. But it wasn't. It wasn't. They were like, hey, we want to collaborate with you. Like, you do cool stuff. And I was like, oh, I mean, I think the most fun part of having an Instagram is when athletes, like the actual people, will like message you and be like, oh, this is really cool. Or like, so that like never gets old. Like with, I got a bunch of messages with the new Ginter release from some of those featured players. And it like, that's always like geeky because I'm just like, ha, you're so cool. Like you play it cool and you're like, yeah, of course, whatever. Yeah. Or they're like, hey, women on Topps team. And I'm like, you mean me and my dog? Like, yes, I like the whole team of us here doing it. I mean, that's like the most fun part. So I'd like to thank Topps for not suing me. But yeah, I mean, we just post things that interest us. I guess maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself an influencer or anything until I start thinking about what the people who follow me want. I'm just sort of like, this is what I think is cool. You
just be like, I need game news. Every day you just say, I need game news material. I need game news material. And then people just keep reposting it. Eventually it'll become hot.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that much of an influencer. Like, I just got a pair of Uggs. My sister's like, oh, you're a basic white girl from 2002. Like, congratulations, you're a little late. So, like, I think anything that I think is cool will be 10 years in the future. Will maybe be cool.
It'll be retro by that point. So,
oh, yeah, right.
What I like to hear, I kind of knew this would be the answer from you two. And what I like to hear is you're very humble. And that's the part I like best. And that's kind of why we wanted you on this show, right? You don't have an ego, so that's amazing, and that's why we consider you friends, except for Eric.
Correct. I have an enormous ego, and and I don't mind telling everybody.
Sure, you are from Boston.
I hear the Bruins have a signed jersey of you in their locker room. That's very impressive. That's very sweet of you guys to be doing that.
I am constantly getting requests from the team asking me for them, and it's like, all right, well, this is for like your son or something. And they're like, no, it's for me. I'm like, all right. And I sign it.
I have to tell you a cool story. So I don't have the card with me. I'll put it somewhere. It's around here somewhere. So I had a business card made of me, which is Mario Lemieux's rookie card with my face on it, right? And on the back, I have like 4,000 minutes and penalties and 1 goal and whatever. I made it ridiculous, right? So I started signing them and handing them out at the expos, right? So a friend of mine who is on a website that we all go to, Hobby Insider, he found one in a bulk lot. A guy sold him a bulk lot, and my card signed within that lot. So
Oh,
he
that's
actually showed it. He goes, "Hey, look what I found!" So my card made it out into the ether. So that was like my claim to fame. And the other second funny thing is we tried to get PSA to grade my card. They refused.
Awesome.
So now I'm going to see if I can get another grader to grade my. Because there's some. I got to find a skeptical grading company out there that can slab my card.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there'll be someone.
I could just laminate it. Whatever.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll find a plastic and I'll.
I'll gladly send you my card. I'll sign it. It'll be a one
That'd
of
be amazing.
it'll be one of 300.
I'll put it on women on tops. Gender. We don't support the gender binary. You're fine. You're all good. You're all good.
You're getting it. You're getting my card. Sam will get my card. Eric, I'm sure you have my card.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it's right next to the Wayne Gretzky rookie.
And your William Nylander auto. Okay,
Yeah.
so I know we're coming up on the hour, and I don't want to keep you all too long. So I know you're taking time out of your day to hang out with us. So I appreciate it. I know, Sam, you have to drop pretty soon. So I wanted to ask you another question. Give me 1 second. I am going to just go to my Magic 8 Ball of Kent question because he can't make us live. So give me 1 second here. Wow, yes, a lot of stuff. Oh, World Cup. Okay, let's go to World Cup. So, Sam, you brought this up earlier, and Annemarie, I can't remember if you follow World Cup. I can't know if we've talked about that before, but let's just get into it. So, predictions for the World Cup. So, Sam, what are your predictions for the World Cup?
Yeah. So I watched the Qatar-Ecuador game this morning. I thought that was just interesting to see it in Qatar overall. But I don't know, based off of what I've heard and kind of just like hearing things, I think Brazil. I think like with Neymar, I don't know, just kind of leading the way overall. I'm going with Brazil, but I don't know. I could also see just like some European team winning. But I don't know. I'm not expecting too much from the U.S., but I think it'll be fun to at least watch them play. So
Cool. Okay, Annemarie.
I just found out that men also play soccer, which is really cute. I think I know who's losing from the World Cup, and that would be Budweiser, who spent $75 million on pouring rights.
Yeah.
For Qatar to change their mind. My worry is what else is Qatar going to change their mind about in the next couple of weeks that they promised. I'll go Argentina because EA Sports Simulator said Argentina is going to win.
Yep, I went with Argentina too. And Eric, do you even follow soccer?
For your information, sir, I played very competitive soccer. I played high school. I played in college. I've coached club teams. I've coached high school teams. I kind of walked away from the sport a handful of years ago because I didn't like the direction the game was going. I would much rather watch a women's game than a men's game with the flopping and some of the dirty play, but it's mostly just the flopping, the screaming at the refs. That's just not how I was brought up playing the beautiful game. And I just didn't know what I was watching. This wasn't something that I dedicated my life to. So I walked away from it. So I've been thinking about whether or not I wanted to watch a little of this World Cup. I'm really not impressed of the location. I don't think it should be there. I think it's really a bad message, but that's a whole nother, discussion.
Oh, there is a lot of bad messages there.
I definitely will
be a show in itself.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this isn't a political show, but I'm not happy with supporting the decision to be played there. I've decided that I am gonna try to watch the US and see how they do, and if I enjoy that, maybe I'll watch something else. But I did not watch one game the last men's World Cup. Not one, not 1 second, not 1 minute, nothing.
Is we'll go back to that in a second. But the next World Cup is shared with Canada and US. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
I believe so.
Yeah, we have locations throughout.
Yeah,
I think it's shared. If anybody who's anybody's still around watching, let us know. But I think it's shared in here. But I appreciate I do also don't agree with the flopping, and I also don't agree with the location. I also don't agree with a lot of stuff that's going on in there. More from an inclusivity point of view, it's not very inclusive, to say the least. But I'm watching the sport because I do enjoy it. I watched the game today. I did find it comical watching Qatar and Ecuador.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of flopping, I will say.
Oh god, it was
honestly.
It was bad. There was one I was like, this guy was 8 years away.
I promise you this, I never flopped once. Not in high school, not in college, not as a little kid. You ran through stuff, you played tough, you played hurt. There was no way I was going to lay on the ground. If I hit the ground, I bounced back up and went back into the play. I don't know what this sport is, but it's not what I was brought up on.
I can appreciate that. Okay, so we're up on the hour again. I know a few of us, we only wanted to do this for an hour, and I could go all night, but I don't want to do that because that's not the first way back. But I do want to give a extremely special thank you to all three of you for coming back on the show after our long hiatus. It means a lot to me and Kent, even though because you guys are the people we talk about a lot when we talk about shows we did in the past. So thank you very much for to coming and helping us out, relaunch and reinvigorated version of this. Just for everyone to hear is we won't be doing this weekly. We're going to be doing this where it makes sense, where we feel comfortable, where we actually have content that actually we feel like talking about. We'll go live. So it won't be a weekly thing, but it will be every couple of weeks kind of thing. We're still going to try and make it unique and interesting, but we'll keep pounding the pavement trying to find those interesting content for you all.
I just want to say I'm glad you're back. I hope you find the joy in doing it again, and thank you for letting me be a part of it. And anytime you want to throw the invite out again, I'd be more than happy to come back.
I would. The invite is open for all three of you. You guys are amazing and been really good people and kept in touch, so I appreciate that. And Annemarie, every time we talk to you and I see your Instagram, my cheeks hurt from laughing because you're a riot. Don't stop. Just keep going. You're funny. So I'm going to end the show there. Before I do that, I can say hi to Bobby because Bobby came late. One sec. Hey, Bobby. Can't say I didn't say hi. And I owe you a bag of M&Ms from the expo. I will get it to you. Okay. So thanks again to everyone. I'm going to end the show now. For you guests, hold on, and we'll let you go in a second. So
thanks.
Have a good night.